years from now, we can all say we were there. We were there to witness 6 days, 6 incredible days of complete overreaction from Democrats in Washington, from the elites in the media, and here we are today, one day away from the one-week anniversary of the famous Donald Trump trade war, which will now live forever in the annals of history, right up there with the Civil War, the First World War, World War II, and now the Donald Trump trade war. Years from now, we'll tell our kids and our grandkids that we remember where we were when Donald Trump started the famous 6-day Donald Trump trade war. Even though it lasted just half the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis, people will forever say yes, but it was more important. Oh boy. You can see how ridiculous this has been and how ridiculous this is becoming. It's not over yet. The markets are going to continue to go up and go down, and nobody likes to see the market go down. But today, the market is where it was exactly 1 year ago today, meaning this asinine prediction from Jim Cramer never came true.
The president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday.
Okay, did you catch that right there? CNBC actually told viewers on Friday to expect a 22% drop in the market on Monday, which of course did not happen. And it didn't happen because the rest of the world needs America. American money, American products, in many cases American protection, which is why the European Union, again, just made us an offer that we can't refuse. A 0-for-0 tariff offer, meaning no tariffs on us in exchange for no tariffs on them, which means Donald Trump just got America a better deal with all 27 different countries that make up the European Union than America had yesterday, which is something any president could have done, should have done at any time over the last 40 years, but nobody did it because nobody wanted to take the political risk that Donald Trump is willing to take. He is taking that risk. He is betting his legacy on something that Democrats have been talking about for years.
The Chinese have enjoyed a huge trade surplus with the United States, as this chart shows. Every year, it gets larger and larger and larger. Admittedly, some of that trade surplus is due to the rules of free trade.
I think the president's doing the right thing. China has been taking advantage of us for two decades. They're stealing our intellectual property, which means stealing our good-paying jobs.
That is currently the most prominent elected Democrat in America, by the way. Democrats have talked about making trade fair for decades. You might remember Bill Clinton talking about NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. We were told it would usher in an era of fair trade and free trade, but that never, ever happened. Take a look.
If I go there and NAFTA passes in the House, it will be a clear statement to Asia. Number one, that the United States is not withdrawing from the world. We are determined to be the world's leading economic power by competing and winning, not from running away. Number two, I'll be able to say what I have been saying to the Asians. Asia is important to us, but we want access to your markets. They will see us developing the NAFTA market, which is not just Mexico, it's Latin America, Canada, the whole 9 yards. And that will be enormous pressure on them to conclude these world trade agreements, these GATT talks, by the end of the year. It will also help us with Europe to do that.
That was 1993. Do you remember any of that happening? I remember NAFTA, but I don't remember free trade with anyone, which is because it never happened. Did you know that in the final year of Joe Biden's presidency, the U.S. paid $350 billion to other countries in tariffs while taking in just $50 billion? Everyone else, again, got $350 billion. America took in $50 billion. Now, who do you think's getting the better deal? Is it us or is it everyone else? Dear Bill Clinton, that doesn't sound like free trade or fair trade. It sounds like America getting ripped off. Your plan didn't work. The president's son, Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, tweeting today that I wouldn't want to be the last country that tries to negotiate a trade deal with the president. The first to negotiate will win, the last will absolutely lose. I have seen this movie my entire life. And that's what we're seeing right now. It's really a game of musical chairs, not with children, but with countries that are all trying to make a deal with the White House at the same time. The president posting on Truth Social today that I just had a great call with the acting president of South Korea about tariffs, and we have the confines and probability of a great deal for both countries. And their top team is on a plane heading to the U.S. right now, and good things are coming. And what I've noticed over the last 74 days, again, is the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Donald Trump clearly has the best interests of America and Americans in mind, everyday Americans, not Wall Street, everyday Americans, while Joe Biden never did. He talked a big game, sort of. He didn't really speak well, but he tried to talk a big game. We couldn't think of a single thing that Joe Biden did that was truly America first or even America second. The CHIPS Act, what did that do? The Inflation Reduction Act that didn't address inflation? Appointing Ketanji Brown Jackson, who doesn't know what a woman is? Wiping out student loan debt, which is against the law? Was any of that really done for you? We don't think so. And maybe that explains why so many people still support what this current president is doing.
So Trump's presidential power is too much, the right amount, too little. Well, 47% say too much, but then you get 36% who say the right amount. Then you get 17% who say too little. So you're essentially dealing with a majority of the American public, 53%, who do not say that Trump has too much power. They either says he has too little power or the right amount of power. But with the majority of folks, they believe Donald Trump's doing something completely differently, and they don't believe he has too much power. And the executive orders he signed certainly suggest he's no lame duck. He is, as I said at the beginning, a soaring eagle.
CNN just called Donald Trump a soaring eagle. That was this morning. And as the markets continue to go up and down, which we can expect to continue for a little while, there are Republicans out there, establishment types, neocons, the same people who wanted Nikki Haley to be president. Imagine if Nikki Haley was president right now. These people are quietly working against Donald Trump, and the Wall Street Journal is one of them. After just 6 days of market turbulence, 6 days of the great Donald Trump tariff war, what is going on right now with the Wall Street Journal? Over the last several months, the Journal has continued to inch to the left, every week a little bit more. Here is a headline today. Donald Trump is trashing America's reputation. His foreign policy is doing irreversible damage to the greatest geopolitical brand ever created. That was in the Journal today. So why is this happening? Well, the Republican establishment always turns on Donald Trump first. Think Mitch McConnell. But why is this happening now with the Wall Street Journal? Well, that's part of a larger story that no one is talking about. The man who owns the Wall Street Journal happens to be Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News and the New York Post. In fact, they are all located in the same building. Rupert is 93 years old now, and naturally he's slowing down, although he does still have all his marbles. His son James, this gentleman here, is now overseeing more and more of the company, and you can see his impact everywhere. Very subtle, but his fingerprints are everywhere, and that's because James Murdoch is not a conservative. In fact, he endorsed Kamala Harris publicly in September. He even said that he would like her to be president. So the man who could one day control News Corp endorsed Kamala Harris. The man who could one day control News Corp and Fox News wanted Kamala in the White House right now. In 2020, according to a report, James Murdoch spent at least $20 million trying to beat Donald Trump. And in February, James Murdoch told Atlantic Magazine, the same Atlantic Magazine that Jeffrey Goldberg works for, that, quote, if lying to your audience is how you juice ratings, a good culture wouldn't do that. James, of course, was referring to Fox News. And after January the 6th, in an interview with the Financial Times, that same James Murdoch stated, quote, proof positive that what we thought was dangerous is indeed very, very much so. Those outlets that propagate lies to their audience have unleashed insidious and uncontrollable forces that will be with us for years. And I mention that only because of what we are seeing right now. It's very telling. The markets are down right now, and everyone's blaming Donald Trump. It's because of tariffs that markets are down. This is the first real sign of trouble for the president since someone almost killed him back in July. And it's fascinating to see who is sticking with the president and who is jumping ship. It's been only 6 days of this great Trump trade war. 6 days, by the way, and people are abandoning the president on the right, and the Wall Street Journal is one of them, and I expect others to follow. We'll see.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.